Gibbs. I'm here with Zach and Toby. Another treacherous week.
Yeah, we hang in there, have a chance to win the game. Just don't make enough plays. Good teams find a way to win these games. Bad teams find a way to lose them. It's pretty evident which kind of team we are at this point in the season.
Yeah, we've been saying that all year. The difference between a good team and a bad team is just one play. Ravens can't make it. I mean, I honestly thought this was probably the best the Ravens played this year, though, to be honest. And that's a tough team they played out there and on the road and in prime time. They were pumped up, the Cardinals, that is. And they fell short, but I was actually okay with the performance they put out there this week. The team can't tackle. They're not good, but coming down to the last play in Arizona against that team this year, I can respect that. Like if we were a good team, like if we had an above 500 record going into that and we still had playoff hopes and stuff, I think you'd look at that loss, you'd still be okay with it. Like it would be one that if you won, it would be a steal, like week 1 in Denver. Like you don't go in expecting to win. So, what do you think, Jeff?
I feel like I've entered this state of mind that I just want all the crap that's going to happen to us happen this year. It's like ankle catches,
get out of the way.
The manholes opening up on field goals. Like the Chris Johnson play was just bizarre. I mean, when do you ever see that? When do you ever see like a stoppage like that?
Right.
That's a stop before progress. Like no whistle blow. Like I was just such a bizarre play.
If we hit him, that's unnecessary roughness.
Exactly.
Like,
I wanted to touch on that. Like, what do you do in that situation if somebody comes in and finishes him off? It's gonna be a 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
Like, it's a no-win situation.
That was just a bad call by the refs. It should have been forward progress was stopped.
Right. The Urschel play. I mean,
yep.
Clearly.
I mean,
it's funny how Gruden came pointed it out. Like clearly he
just
makes the signal. The referee's literally staring right at him, and they still call the penalty.
Yeah, the refs are not good.
Yeah. But which I don't think it was a fumble, but the huge play in that game was the Jeremy Ross from the punt return.
Yep.
I mean, we just scored
it looked like
10-7 lead. We forced a 3-and-out. There's like 3 minutes left for the half. It's like, we have some momentum. Here we go. Then that fumble changed everything. They get 7 going to the half instead of us possibly scoring.
Yep.
And we never recovered. It was never really. I mean, I think we only scored that last. We didn't score until the very end of the game with a punt block.
Right.
After that.
Yeah.
That was a huge turning point in the game.
I thought Joe played pretty well, though. That 4th down conversion, keeping the play alive, finding Gilmore.
Yeah,
that was a big play.
That was impressive. That
big play to Givens on that drive too. He underthrew that ball early in the game to Givens on that post route.
He probably underestimated the speed of Givens because he hasn't had anybody with speed this whole year. So
that pick though at the end was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
The pick. I mean, at what point do you realize the guy that you're throwing it to is like 6'6", 6'7", huge human being on a much smaller corner. So I'm all right with it. Just throw the jump ball. We tried it once in Denver, didn't work, but Gilmore took the blame for that.
All right, so let's break this down. You got to think the Cardinals watched the film of the Denver game. I mean, they have to know that's coming. You casino blitz him. That's where he's going to go with the ball. So that is the first thing. They did it the play before. That's how they got down into the red zone. They did the exact same play. So they go down, they clock the ball. All right, so it's 1st and goal. I think we're on the 4. They clock the ball, but then they get that penalty. I think they were 2nd and goal.
Penalty.
I think on the 9-yard line.
The headsets went out. That's their
Right.
excuse. Always something.
But it's still 3rd down.
Headsets go out.
Time's not a factor in the fact that it's 13 seconds. You have 2 shots at the end zone. My problem with that is, it's 3rd down. I would much rather see a throw to the outside on a one-on-one against the receiver, against the corner on the outside, as opposed to throwing the ball to the middle of the field, where as high as he threw that ball, just like Stewart did in the week 1, somebody can peel off and make a play on the ball. Joe puts an exorbitant amount of air under these passes. I get it, Gilmore 6'6", 6'7", whatever. He's got a height advantage, but he's given the defense plenty of time to react and peel off and make an interception. I mean, it just so happens that Jefferson had enough time to see what was going on and make a play on the ball too. I just don't see that. I can see it on 4th down, having to go to Gilmore and throwing a prayer up like that. I can see that. I don't see it on 3rd down. I don't think it's a smart play. They come out in 5 wide. He obviously saw a blitz pre-snap, so 6 is coming. Somebody's coming, unblocked. You just have to pick your matchup pre-snap and just throw it. I don't get it.
I agree.
I don't understand the logic
Yeah, it
there.
was the last play of the game. Sure, throw it up. But yeah, we
Right.
had time for another play.
Right.
It seemed like I was just throwing it out of the back of the end zone. I mean, you can't. Grounding's really not really a factor in the end zone because in the middle, you just need to launch that ball in the 10th row, hit a popcorn vendor, and
Right.
you got another play. It just seemed like that play was doomed from the jump. Like you said, the blitz game, off his back foot, just lobbing it up, hoping and praying.
Again, it's off the back foot. I mean, everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
not like he needed a bunch of steam behind that pass or anything, but just whenever you're going off the back foot, it's just nothing good
I feel like-
happens.
I think he's got to learn to pick his battles. Like the play wasn't there. All right, throw it away. Let's make the next one. It's like
Right.
you don't have to.
I mean, you can't take a sack there. That's I understand,
Yeah.
and that's the matchup that he did identify pre-snap that he wanted to hit. It's just I don't understand the logic of the type of throw that he made. Let me ask you this. So there were 13 seconds. Obviously, we had no timeouts. They're showing Casino Blitz. They're coming all out. Do you think, with practice time and a coordinated effort, do you think they have time to call like a wide receiver screen there and orchestrate it to the point where if they don't get tackled, everybody knows to get up to the line of scrimmage? I mean, don't you think that'd be a much better play call?
No.
You don't think so?
Not with 13 seconds, no timeout.
I mean, you figure you got 6 guys coming all out.
But we've seen, there's just no... There would have to be in this situation, but there's just no hustle with the clock with this team.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And
It
they'd
would obviously take a lot of orchestration, but
Yeah. They've proven to me that they're just bad with the clock.
yeah.
And I wouldn't want... I'd be...
I think that would be a good play call. But yeah, I don't have any faith. We couldn't even get lined up for the play beforehand.
Yeah.
I guarantee New England could pull that off.
Right. It's funny too. Like we had a lot of time, and time ended up being kind of a factor
Yeah.
because they couldn't do that. Like
Even
you can see Matt Ryan is great for this. Like Brady, like you give them 40 seconds and they'll get done
Yeah.
what we had like a minute and 50 seconons to get done.
It's
we
like
still
they're-
basically didn't have enough time.
It's like when they came up to the line to spike the ball. There's just no hurry in any of them, and I don't know why. It seems like that every time there's if we have a drive going in the end of the half or something, there's just no hustle. Like they'll just let the clock go down to 15 seconds for no reason. So another frustrating loss.
Frustrating, very frustrating.
Home against the Chargers this week.
Well, I should say it's funny that I felt like our defense played a lot better. Then you look, it's like, well, we have over 400 yards, 26 points. That just shows you how better defense has been. I thought defense played
right.
okay.
They didn't give up the 30 that probably most of America thought Arizona was going to drop on us. I was reading some stats. Ladarius Webb had one of the lowest grades of any cornerback across the NFL last week, mostly because of 3 missed open field tackles he had. But Jimmy Smith gave up 2 touchdowns.
Ladarius Webb used to be such a great tackler. I mean, I don't.
The injury is just he's just a shell of himself. It's sad to see. It was just so promising early in his career.
Yep.
I thought Treese Wright actually played okay for a second. It seemed like they weren't picking at him quite as much.
He gave up. He was thrown out, I think, 4 times. He gave up 3 completions.
Jesus. So guess not.
And as a group, the 3 cornerbacks. I might mess this stat up a little bit, but they gave up in man coverage. I think they gave up 8 catches for 150 yards, which is just bottom of the barrel for corners.
Our cornerback play has been embarrassing. Bottom line is it's been awful.
I don't even know if he had a sack, but Demerville's in the backfield all game long. So
Yeah.
I see that from him. He's kind of been struggling.
It's just hard when you get the pressure from one side. If you don't get the pressure from the other side or any interior push, it's almost for naught. I mean, the quarterback knows he steps up in Dumerville's direction underneath of his rush, and without that Robin, the Batman isn't as effective.
Well, Dumerville is Robin. So without Batman, Robin's not as effective.
Well, you're talking about our last play and the interception. How terrible was the Cardinals play calling late in the game? That game should have been over with. Throwing passes and running out of bounds.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre to me.
Yeah, that was really strange. Why would you call a pass there?
No, Bruce Arians is a
Yeah, it's like I understand being aggressive.
arrogant
but
prick,
that was
and that means you know what I mean. Just
he didn't have the
He thinks he can
Kangol
throw
on
the
either.
ball
I guess
all
he
the
didn't have his
time.
Kangol on. He wasn't thinking properly. I don't know.
Well.
You just had the regular hat on yesterday. But it's just run the ball 3 times and punt. It's like you think we're gonna go the length of the field with there have been I think 30 seconds, 40 seconds, but they gave us giving away time.
Right.
Very weird.
Yeah, well, they probably just know how bad our clock management is. They just don't care. So we got San Diego at home this week. The Ravens are actually favored by 3 again. They're favored to win. But I think San Diego's not looking good either. But I I don't see us stopping Phillip Rivers in the passing attack.
On paper, it's pretty scary. Pretty scary. Phillip
we're
Rivers, he's played better on the road than he has at home this year, by far.
He's throwing the ball like 50 times a game.
Keenan Allen has the most receptions through 7 games of anybody in NFL history. 62 catches.
I got him in a PPR league. Solid pickup.
Nice, yeah. So there's, whether Jimmy Smith shadows him.
Why?
Or,
Jimmy Smith's terrible. Like we have no cornerback that should be shadowing anybody because they're all as bad as the next one.
Could possibly see Antonio Gates. That could help.
Yeah, he's
pretty banged up. Gotta watch out for Woodhead, man.
Yeah.
He's been tearing it up. Darryl Smith was really bad in coverage last week too. It's tough. I mean, if to get the extra pressure, they have to send Mosley, and that leaves Darryl Smith on an island covering backs, and he hasn't been able to do it. Maybe the age is catching up to him a little bit.
I mean, I don't know if I bumped my head or something, but I actually feel good about the Ravens this week. I think we're going to win. I think it's going to be a lot of points scored. I just think two tough losses on the West Coast, coming home before the bye week. I think we're going to get a good effort. This Chargers team, they can score points, but they're a bad football team. We saw that last week. I mean, Oakland just destroyed them at their own place.
Yeah, Oakland was up. Huge.
Also, you got the West Coast team playing at 1. And last year we let them off the hook. Remember, we had the Chargers beat last year. Let them off the hook.
I feel like we always have a tough time with the Chargers for whatever reason.
I think we're in good shape too. I think the Chargers are last in the league at stopping the run, so they will be able to run the ball on them. And they've got a bunch of offensive line.
Yeah,
problems.
the Chargers have been bad against the run. I like
with Monroe and KO. If they're going to play, I mean that's a big loss if we lose the whole left side of our line.
Yeah, definitely. Monroe, I think, has been a giant disappointment. He hasn't lived up that contract at all we gave him. The line in general, I think, has been about average this year. I thought this would be like one of our biggest strengths.
Yeah.
The line, they're just going to maul people.
It was last year.
Yeah.
2 years ago it was awful with Ray Rice getting the 3.1 yards a carry or whatever it was. Last year was incredible with Forsett leading the league in yards per carry. This year it's been kind of average.
It just goes to show you, like, it's all connected. Like, you don't have talent at wide receiver, therefore the defense can always commit that extra guy to the box, and now your running game isn't effective. It's just it all trickles down.
Yep. And that's what, like, people want to just pinpoint. People want to just like pinpoint one individual out there, like on offense, who had like a bad game or something. Like, everything's connected. Like, if Joe, like, people want to get on Joe if he throws an interception. There's just so much more than just. Most of the time, like, Joe has made bad decisions where he just throws it to like to a cornerback who's just standing there, but most of the time there's just so much more that goes into it, and it just all trickles down from us not having the right pieces at the right place. And
I agree that. Yeah, it's all factors. Like you said, like, it goes from the injuries to Ozzie missing draft picks to everything connects. But I do like Joe's played bad this year. I don't want to make like excuse for Joe. Joe's played bad this year. Here's a stat for you. Fourth quarter, Joe Flacco's QBR is 18.8, the fourth lowest in the NFL. He's not getting it done crunch time.
No, he's not. But yeah, I mean, I'm a Flacco apologist. I'll just keep going back to, like, look at the team around him.
Yeah.
The fact that they've been able to score as many points as they have with the players they have on that field on offense, I think is actually pretty remarkable.
Yeah, all 6 losses, they've had a chance to either tie or win the game on the last possession.
They have bad players on offense. Bad players. Even our stars, Forsett was a 6th round pick. I mean, great player, but he's like our star. One of our stars on offense is a 6th round pick. I mean,
and not even of ours.
Yeah.
But I don't want to put too much blame on Joe, but I don't also want to trash the whole supporting cast. It's like, Joe's the quarterback. He's
he's a part of the problem.
Yeah, you get credit for the wins, and you take the heat when you lose, and we're losing.
I saw a stat where he's 5-13 on possible fourth quarter comebacks in situations.
Since when?
I don't know, his last 18, I guess.
We've seen a lot of games this year end with him throwing the pick, making
right.
that throw. I mean,
yeah. It's a tough time in Baltimore.
It is.
Now, do you think there's some chatter that some of the fans are going to come out booing this team this week? Do you think that's going to happen?
I hope not. I really do. I hate to see. There's nothing more frustrating than your team starting out 1-6, but you still got to support them. You support them through the wins, support them through the losses.
It's not like
don't boo
we're
'em.
the Raiders or the Jags. We're a constant loser.
Yeah, it's not like there's somebody where I don't know. It's not like there's somebody who's done something like to offend the fan base. Like that's kind of a different story. But if you just have a product on the field that just isn't good, you got to live with it.
Yeah, I hope they don't. I wouldn't think they would. It's just we've had so much success over the years. You hope not.
They'll have a couple idiots out there trying to get people riled up. But
people are making it about them. These games, they'll get attention.
Yeah.
I don't like when I do. I am a fan of the boo for the half. When you have a bad first half, boom, the halftime locker room. I'm a fan of that. Do that a lot. But just a boo right out of the gate. That's a Bush League move.
All right, we are the Charm City Wire Show. We will be right back.
The most interesting men and women in Hartford County can be found at Main Street Cigar in Bel Air. Visit Main Street Cigar and shop quality tobacco products. Actually, over 100 types of tobacco and a huge selection of top brand cigars. Over 2,000 pipes plus pipe racks and all tobacco accessories. Lounge back. Talk business, politics, or fun in the smoking lounge. The only one in Hartford County. This week, discover Main Street Cigar at 2217 East Churchville Road in Bel Air. Open Monday through Saturday 9 to 10 and Sunday 10 to 8. Call anytime at 410-734-4494. Stop in and join the most interesting people in Hartford County at Main Street Cigar in Bel Air.
So, all right, we're back at the Charm City Wire Show. I'm Babes. I'm here with Zach and Toby. We got a new
New little game
coming up. New segment. Zach, why don't you go ahead?
All right, we're going to do a little fact or fiction here. All the questions are about the Ravens. Just want to know if you guys think it's true or if it's not true. So the first question is, will the Ravens get a top 3 draft pick? Toby,
No
fact
way.
or fiction?
It's false.
Okay.
I mean, we're not good, but top 3, there's a lot of bad teams out there.
They're sitting at number 2 right now.
Yeah, but our schedule to the second half, a lot of home games, a lot of winnable games. I think top 10 for sure.
Yes, well, yeah.
I mean, maybe like not top, I don't know, 6, 7, 8, somewhere in that range, I would think, but not top 3.
Babes?
I'm also going to go fiction, but I think it could be like 4 or 5 when it's all said and done, which is a shame because this year's draft class isn't as strong as in years past. There's not those. I mean, it's still early to tell, but you can't like zero in on a couple blue chip prospects yet. I mean, and just so happens that this is the year that we're going to be in the top, 5 or 10 of the draft. But yeah, I'll also say fiction.
I'm going to say fact. I think this team, I just have zero confidence that they can put a win together right now. I mean, I think right now, I think it's a 3-win team.
3 wins?
If we're lucky. I mean,
What games? What do you have us winning? Jacksonville?
Jacksonville at home.
I'd love to think
We almost lost to Jacksonville
I think,
last year.
I think we lose to Jacksonville, to be honest.
Come on,
I actually like Jacksonville a lot.
I disagree.
They're better.
They got Jacksonville's talent on offense. They have a lot of talent. But I'd like to think we beat Cleveland. I'd like to think we don't lose twice to Cleveland this year. But who knows?
They're on Monday night? I don't know.
If we lose twice to Cleveland, I'm just gonna jump ship, and just pull one random. We got to pull one random other win together. I don't care who it is, but I think it's the 3-13 team right now.
What do we have? 6 games left at home.
Yeah, but we've proven we can't win at home either.
I think we're probably win 2 or 3 home games. I think we can beat the Rams at home.
I think there's no chance we go
Chiefs
higher
at
than
home.
5 wins. We're not getting more than 5 wins.
I don't know.
You think we can go over 500 from here on
I
out?
think 5-11 is about right. That's about right, actually.
So that would put us at what, 4-5 the rest of the year?
Maybe 6-10. 5-11, 6-10.
You think 6-10? You think
Their schedule's not very
we're gonna
hard.
go? Yeah, but we're not very good.
I'm not asking us to run the tables. I'm saying I think we can win a few games. All these close games, we're not going to lose all these close games every week for the whole
We
season.
have so far. If it wasn't for a terrible,
That's what I'm
kicker,
saying.
we'd
Let
be-
this be the season. Let this be the season. We lose all those close games.
Ravens
At
are
this
winning
point.
this week. I don't know if we're going to cover. I think it's going to be a tough game. Ravens are going to win this week. That's lock it up. They're going to
We're
win.
laying 3. John Harbaugh's 3-6 against the spread coming off a Monday night game.
I have confidence. It's a weird. I don't know why. We're terrible.
Although
I know we're terrible.
but the Ravens
I
at
hope
home in
you're right.
November are 21-9 against the spread. So
All right, next question. Will the Ravens draft another wide receiver in the first round this year? There's been a lot of talk about that. Toby?
I don't know. I mean, I would say fiction because we never hit on these guys anyway. That's second round. We never hit on these guys anyway, so I hope we avoided it. I think we're in a position
Jury's
now.
still out on Perriman.
Just best player available.
yeah, I would say fiction as well. I mean, you look at the top of the draft, Laquan Treadwell from Ole Miss is probably the top prospect right now. Pitt's got a guy too, Tyler Boyd, which I watched him last week. He's actually really impressive. They were playing him at running back. They were playing him, in the slot out wide. The guy does everything. But I don't know if he's a top 5 if we're picking there. Yeah, I mean, you got to see, you got to think after the bye, hopefully they can get Perryman on the field, see what they have out of him. Plus, there's so many more holes. I mean, I think pass rusher and corner are going to be much more pressing needs.
I'm going to go fiction also, not just because, or pretty much only because of where we'll be drafting. I think we'll be drafting too high to take the best wide receiver. The Ole Miss guy, I think, is projected right now to be the first wide receiver taken somewhere between like 10 and 15. I don't think we're going to have a pick that low. So, I think a lot of the top guys are pass rushers and offensive line, and
there's a lot of left tackle prospects.
I honestly would love to see us take.
Situations.
Yeah, I'd love to see us take a left tackle
if we can dump Monroe's contract. It's going to cost. I mean, then you're talking more dead money.
Yeah. I mean, you don't have to start. Yeah, I mean, you don't have to start him right away. But although you would think if it's a top 5 pick, you would expect that. But I'd love to see a guy like when the Browns got Joe Thomas, like that would be incredible if we could pull that off. But also pass rusher too. There's a lot of good ones at the top of the draft, so I can see us going there. All right, the next one is the Ravens make a trade to acquire more draft picks before the deadline. I'm talking like there's been talk about trading Steve Smith, Gilmore, that kind of thing.
I think they put the Steve Smith to rest. He basically said he's not gonna go anywhere. He would retire. Yeah, I'm not gonna. I think that's a fact. I think there's guys that would be available. I think if they can move Darryl Smith, I think they would trade him.